Today I'm going to talk about a specific thing, which is headsets. Now, I've gone through headsets recently and I thought I've actually had quite a few over the last 2-3 years, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line them up and we're going to go through them. The Medusa headset, essentially the sound that you get out of these is really good. The surround is actually particularly useful. It does feel like it's just behind your ear. And they are a good sounding headset straight out of the box. You must be thinking, well, why did you buy other headsets? Here's why. The mic is not great. It's pretty kind of boxy sounding and a bit lacking in low end. Your voice just sounds a bit weird through it. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the Medusa NX Speedlink headset mic. They do go over the ear, but they are a little bit sore. They press, for me they were pressing on the side here and it felt kind of strange, not good. With regards to this, which is the, that's the control pod. Now the control pod has all the controls you need for the 5.1. It's got all the controls for power and vibration, which is one of the good points of this headset. Unfortunately, what also happened was they started creating some kind of weird sound, like a buzzing, and it wouldn't go away until you moved this pod about. The other thing, which was even worse, is that some sound stuff from the surround sound, I think, even the sound completely, would just cut. And it was due to this. I couldn't take it anymore and I thought, I'm going to buy a proper surround headset. Which brings us to the Roccat Kaves. Hey, okay, the WMV file with the headset shootout kind of got a little garbled here, so I'm just going to reshoot for the Roccat Kaves. Okay, Roccat Kaves, now actually very nice. There's a bit of foam there, you might notice that. I'll explain that in a sec. Okay, so we'll start with the mic. The mic is actually pretty decent. It's not what I would say is tinny, but it's very clear. It's lacking a little in low end on your voice, which is a little bit of a shame because what comes out at the other end, you can take it off by the way, what comes out at the other end is kind of a very thin sounding voice. So if you're speaking through that on something like TeamSpeak or Mumble, something with a high quality algorithm, it might not come across the best. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the Roccat Kave headset mic. The foam ear pads are very nice. They're very much like a kind of leatherette type. Because of the big pads, they go around your ears, so that's actually quite comfortable for most people. Now, yes, why is there a bit of foam on the top? Well, if you can have a look, you can see 3 pads. They sit against your head, and for me that annoyed the crap out of me. It annoyed the crap out of me a lot. It was very irritating to my head, and hence why I put a bit of foam on it. Now, as a 5.1 headset, they are decent, they do the job, but with 2 minor issues. One, the quality of the sound is a little bit... There's something about the rears which are somewhere around here. Not quite it doesn't feel like it's behind, it's more like around about on the sides. The sound overall is kind of strange. It's almost like a phasey, flanged, washy kind of sound. Definitely not as clear as the Medusa NX headset, so that needs to be said. And also I think the 5.1 overall is as I was saying before, it's not really surrounding. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, that's very dependent on the game, I think. Something like Battlefield 3, for instance, was okay. But in something like Black Ops, you know, a Call of Duty game, it might be a bit better. One of the other things to mention about this headset is the breakout box. Now the breakout box is very good. It's one of the best that I've actually come across in all of these headsets. So it's just like a little square box. You got a button for mute, you get a ring for volume control, got a little panel that just comes open there, and you've got controls for the center, the front, the rear and the sub. And there's a slider switch for game mode as well as movie mode. I don't really know what that does, because when I flipped it, it didn't seem to make a great deal of difference. So overall, pretty decent headset. The only thing I could possibly say is that it's fairly cheap these days. You can probably pick it up for about 45 to 50, maybe 45 to 60 pounds, I'll say. But otherwise, pretty decent headset. And we have the Corsair Vengeance 1500s, and this headset is pretty fantastic. The microphone is brilliant. I had a few comments when I was on Mumble to people saying that is a good sounding mic. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the Corsair Vengeance 1500 headset. Overall, it's incredibly comfortable to wear. The pads go right over the ear, leaving a lot of space in the gaps here, and it was just incredibly comfortable with that kind of memory foam type stuff, and the headband being obviously like a very nice sponge as well. Definitely needed to EQ'd quite heavily in the high end and bringing up the low end a little bit. So these are pretty decent. Just want to correct something though. People have said that it was, well, someone said it was like 280 Pros, the Sennheiser headphones. No, they're not. The Sennheiser 280 Pros have a very nice balanced sound. These do not. They're incredibly toppy, and the low end is a little bit lacking. You really feel like you need a little bit more substance in the low end. But, you know, with the software that comes with it, you are able to EQ them, and I did EQ them, and it made them very, very good sounding. Playing games, watching films, I did both with these, and they were actually pretty decent. After all of these really good points about everything on these headphones, was just that the Dolby Surround, which it does, it just didn't cut it. And because of that, I decided, you know what, I desperately want to see if I can get something better. Which brings us to the next one. I tell you what, right, I'll put the story out there first. I got a set of these before Christmas, which is, they're the ones that I showed in the unboxing. I tried out the microphone, I connected it to the USB puck, which I also have here. Now when I connected it to this USB puck, what happened was that the sound of the microphone coming through was incredibly quiet. I mean, to the point where I just thought, is this for real? It can't be, no. And someone said that if you plug these in via the analog connection, you're going to get a better microphone sound, a louder sound. So I thought, right, I need to do that. I did, and there was no sound at all. So anyway, once I got that all sorted out, here we are. Got the headset, and the mic works, thankfully. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the Storm Sirus headset on the USB interface. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the Storm Sirus headset mic, and we're on the analog connection. Overall, these headphones are really good. What I like about them is the microphone's actually a lot better. They kind of revised it. They revised the overall hardware and made the microphone that little bit better. The 5.1 that comes out of these is really noticeable. It reminds me a lot of the NX. Now the NX had great 5.1. Very well, nice balanced sound, and I thought that's brilliant. For me, they need a little bit of EQing just to balance out and give a little extra high end, because they're a little muffled. So all I can say about these is they're very nicely styled. The pads are really nice. It's costly though. I managed to get Amazon to price match these to somewhere that was selling them at the lowest I could find, which was £90. So yeah, they do cost a fair amount. So not only are you getting a really good quality headset with 5.1 and you're getting a good mic on it, you're also getting the tactical mixing console, which allows you to plug into anything with a USB connection, get 5.1 surround, and all the doodads that go with that. It also has an analog connection option, which you don't normally get with, say, the Corsair Vengeance headphones. Corsair Vengeance ones are purely USB. And that's great, you plug in USB, you've got all your options, your software from Corsair, works, it's brilliant. On the other side, I also own a Zonar sound card, which is a very good sounding sound card, and it would have been a shame if I couldn't have used that. There are other headsets out there that you can try. I mean, you've got the Razer Mechlodon, I think it's called, but they're also Dolby headphone sound, so they might be like the Corsair Vengeance. Just to round up, I just want to say that for me, 5.1 is kind of it's a must when you're playing stuff like Battlefield 3, you've got Call of Duty, all that kind of stuff. As good as, say, Dolby headphone can be, you can hear stuff behind you. It's very much off to the side. I mean, it's a stark contrast when you actually put on a proper 5.1 headset. Because when I went from the Corsair Vengeance straight over to the CM Storms, it was just clear straight away from the moment I actually put them on and was listening to stuff happening in game, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 I should say, in game, just stuff behind me, people running around, you know, explosions behind me. To be honest, it does change your game, and that's important. Out of these four headsets, absolutely it's the CM Storm Sirus for me. I'm going to make a budget kind of option here. As bad as the microphone is on this, the 5.1 and the overall sound quality out of these is very good. So if you're on a budget and you want to get something that's still really good, this is a very good headset. As good as the Corsair Vengeance is, and that would be my other recommendation I should say, if you're looking for 5.1 surround proper, these, if you can get a pair of Medusa NX 5.1 headphones, seek them out, give them a try. The next step is a set of Corsair Vengeance headphones. They're excellent. They've got all the software doodads that you might need to mess about with, and the microphone's excellent, it feels great. This would have been the winner for me, except it didn't do proper 5.1 surround, which is a bit of a shame. So my overall opinion is that if you're looking for 5.1 surround, try out the Sirus headphones or the Medusa NX headphones. If you're just looking for a really good gaming headset, stereo or otherwise, gotta be the Corsair Vengeance 1500s. They are excellent. I would not recommend the Roccat Kaves. The Roccat Kaves, although the 5.1 is kind of there, the overall sound is pretty rubbish, and the heads band at the top pressing down your heads for it's not good. So that's my recommendation.